With his take on The Invisible Man, Leigh Whannell directed a tense horror film that was able to tackle the subject of domestic abuse and its lingering effects. So there was certainly a curiosity in seeing how he would put his spin on another Universal monster with Wolfman. While the first act provides intrigue and there are a few interesting themes in there, the film becomes too much of a slow burn and the werewolf transformation takes a while to get going. What initially begins with characters you want to follow eventually gets less compelling as the movie plays on. The initial setup for the film is okay, with Whannell properly establishing this family, including the father Blake. From those early scenes, it's clear the film is going to tackle the subject of the strain of marriage and how two people might pull apart. Whannell also directs a few tense scenes, so the family makes their way to Oregon, and then the werewolf attack happens. There's intrigue in seeing how he'll go through the inevitable transformation. However, the story really takes its time and unnecessarily draws it out. While this is a noble attempt to build up the suspense, at a certain point the slow burn loses its effectiveness. There are a few creative ideas, including seeing the events through the father's point of view. The notion of them being isolated in this cabin has potential as they are cut off from society, and there appears to be a theme here on how sickness can affect a person and their loved ones. The problem is that the film does slow to a crawl, and one just wants to see the werewolf transform. Unfortunately, the design ends up feeling rather underwhelming as he mostly just gets slightly hairier and develops a skin condition rather than becoming a full-fledged werewolf. Even when the movie goes for the gross-out factor, the transformation is not as exciting as it could have been. Meanwhile, something that is meant to be a big shocking reveal is plainly obvious from the word go without any real mystery surrounding it. A good amount of the movie is set in the dark, with the cinematography making sure the images are as dim as possible. If there's a main flaw that seems to hurt a lot of modern films, it's their insistence on making nighttime scenes incredibly dark. The fast cutting of some of the scenes does not help matters. Wolfman has some intriguing themes it wants to explore, and even the notion of having it set in an isolated location has potential. However, most people go and see a film based on the Wolfman are there to see the titular werewolf make its entrance following the main character's transformation into one. This movie chooses to take its sweet time getting there, and at a certain point that interest in the characters and their situations slowly evaporates. The actors certainly give it a try, but as a monster movie, there's not a whole lot there to excite or build suspense.